All right. Hello and welcome to Kara in Boston. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been a little busy. As you know, I did a trip to New York, which I have uploaded both my Amtrak experience as well as just a kind of a general overview of the things that I did. I am working on my pictures from home and my Museum of Broadway review that's coming up soon. Let's see. Today I took my kitten to the vet. He is actually asleep here in my hoodie. He got his boosters of his rabies shots, so he is not happy right now. But it's good to get that done. So if you have cats, it's not cheap, or at least the vet I go to around here is not cheap. So it's been a little tough keeping up with the finances of that, which brings me to my job hunt. I have been searching for a job, as you know, for several months. I knew that November, December were probably going to be a kind of a wash. There's not a whole lot going on at the end of the year. But I did not expect January to be so difficult. I was thinking that I would have a couple of things in the lineup for January or the end of January, but everything seems to be it's either a little bit far to travel or salary is not quite where I want to be or things like that. So I'm starting to get a little nervous as to how much longer I can be without a job. As a lot of you know, I have been fighting for unemployment. I did leave my job because of a toxic work environment. I had a new boss come in, and it was just not a good situation. I probably will talk about that more later, but it happens. There are people who just don't see eye to eye. I am not somebody who likes to be micromanaged, especially after 10 years on the job. It just kind of feels very how do I describe it? Feels very you're an adult, you have a job to do, you do your job, you expect a certain level of respect, and I just felt like that was not happening with this particular person. So I had to cut ties there, and I thought I was doing better by resigning because I thought, okay, I'm resigning because it's a bad work environment, so I felt like that would allow me to get unemployment as opposed to waiting and getting fired for us being crying on the job, or having anxiety issues or whatever was going on, because I thought that would keep me from getting unemployment. But it seems like it's quite the opposite. And I have an appeal in. I didn't realize I didn't realize that I had been denied initially, and they're like, "Well, there was a personality, conflict, and you didn't do anything to help." And I'm like, "Okay, well." How about you get my side of it before you say that? Like, I don't know what they were telling you, but that's not how it happened. So that's kind of what's going on right now. I do have a few job interviews. I did one on Friday, which I'm very excited about. I've got another one on Monday, so I feel like things are kind of moving along, but we'll see. I've also got my Disney World trip, and a lot of people are like, how are you going to Disneyland if you're unemployed? Well, this is a trip that had been in the works for over 6 months. Um, as a lot of trips to Disney World end up, you have to put them on the books really early, and then there's payments to be made and things like that. Although I have to say, I did this really cool thing. So and my son has paid for this trip. It's part of my birthday gift from last year. It's just the finishing up of the trip that we took last year. So he is actually paid for. I think I put the $200 down on the hotel initially, but then lost my job, and he has actually covered the entire trip. But hopefully I'll be able to pay him back for my half as soon as I get um, financially able. But we did book our initial trip with a $400 discount for the hotel. And recently, something that came up on the website was like save 25% off if you're staying. Um, I don't think it mattered which property you were staying on. There may have been like a 4-day minimum, but I can't recall what the details were. But check it out. You can go back if this is a good trick. If you're planning a trip to Disney World and you have booked your trip, and even if you paid for it, that's fine. If you've done this all on the Go Disney website, you can actually go on there, and if they have a new you can change rooms, you can change types of rooms. If they have a deal coming up, so this 25% deal came up, so I said, let me just check and see if that makes any difference. And we actually saved almost $200 extra. So not only did we have the $400 off initially, but when I rebooked the trip, we had saved another $200. So my son got about $180 back. We had to rebook our day, so I had to make sure that the days that we wanted to go to the different parks was still available, because not only do you have to buy a ticket, but you also have to do a ticket reservation, because they are still keeping like certain amounts of people in the park. So we did do that, and everything's good. All of my reservations are good. All of his reservations are good. He's actually staying and doing some stuff with his friends. So we are only doing 3 days at the park, which includes the Animal Kingdom park, which we did not get to go to. He is trying to find a way to get onto Tron, and I really hope that we can find a way to get him onto Tron. I think he said that the next group of people that are allowed to do like test runs are people who have Disney, maybe not Disney passes, but Disney. I think it's like Club Disney things, like the resorts, something like that. That they maybe have been invited to do the Tron coaster. So if anybody has a way to get him on the Tron coaster, I would appreciate that. Just reach out to me. Anyway, either leave a comment, or my email is listed under the Abouts channel. So you can reach out to me there. And that is about it. Things are going well. Our weather here is being very strange. We did have an unfortunate incident. The day I left for New York, I think I talked a little bit about. I'm sorry, this is actually going to be more than 5 minutes. I do apologize. If you're just here for the 5 minutes, it's now 6.5. I'm so sorry, but I did want to just say something really quickly. People don't take the cold as serious as they should. The day that I left for New York, it was that Saturday morning. We had just had that Arctic blast that came through that night. I got up. I was going to walk to the train, and when I woke up, it was still a negative. It was just under negative, like -2 or -3, but still. I decided to go ahead and take a lift, which normally I would walk to the train, especially right now, not having the money that I do. That taking a lift was kind of tough for me. Like, I didn't want to do it, but I went ahead and did it because it was really cold out, and it's not like a long walk, but it's like a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And, if you're out in such cold weather for a certain period of time, you can really do some damage. And I came to find out, I used to be a blockhead. It used to be, it's something that doesn't really go away, I guess. But, and Blockhead is a fan of the band New Kids on the Block. If you're aware of them, I followed them for many, many years in their early career, and then they had a comeback lately. I haven't really done much with them probably in the last at least 5 years, but there is a local woman who uh, who passed away. Unfortunately, she was out and about in the city, and walked home, I guess. I don't know if she couldn't find a car, or she just decided to walk home, but it was that Saturday night, and she was found about 3 in the morning. I'm sorry, it was Friday night. So she was found about 3 in the morning on Saturday morning, on the bench. I've taken you guys over to. There's there's a park in the North End called well, it's called Christopher Columbus Park, but I don't know what we really call it anymore. It's just a park, and she was found on a bench there, and she, I guess, had her respiratory. Um, yeah, she'd had some issues with the cold, and unfortunately passed away. And she was part of the, she was Blockhead. She was a fellow New Kids, part of the family, of the sisterhood of New Kids on the Block, and it's really very sad. She had a husband, and I think children, and it's just awful to think she was, a minute or two from home. I don't know why she sat down on the bench. It's not clear why she sat down, or how long she'd been there, or anything like that. But you know, winter is serious, and the cold is serious, and please make sure that you're bundling up and taking care. So that was it. I just wanted to send a shout out to her family, and say that the whole New Kids Nation is definitely thinking about you. We've been talking about her a lot on social media, and how everybody seems to be very sorry. I know she's local as well, and I didn't know her personally, or at least she didn't look familiar. I'm sure we run in the same circles because we've been to the Fenway show, or things like that. So, but just it's no joke. So please be careful. Okay, with that, that's it. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for coming. sorry this took kind of a dark turn, but I felt like it was really important for you guys to hear that. And I appreciate you being here. I'm almost to 100 subscribers for my birthday, so I'm very excited. So please make sure oh, hi, honey. Oh, he's up. So please make sure if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Give me a comment, a like, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye bye.